Picture this. It's the night before my wedding. I'm supposed to be toasting to love and family. Instead, I overhear my fiancée and her parents mocking my dead mother, calling her cheap. Ordinary. Nothing special. My heart's pounding. My hands are shaking, and in that moment, I know exactly what I have to do. Stick around, because this revenge is one you'll never forget. If you've ever been disrespected, underestimated, or had someone you love torn down, you're gonna feel this story deep in your soul. Hit that like button, smash subscribe, and let's dive into one of the most emotionally charged revenge stories you'll ever hear. This is Noah's story, and it's a masterclass in standing up for what matters. Meet Noah Whitlow, a 34-year-old custom furniture maker from Burlington, Vermont. Noah's hands tell his story, calloused from years of sanding wood, crafting tables, chairs, and jewelry boxes with the kind of care that only comes from someone who knows loss. His mother, Linda Whitlow, was his world. She raised him alone after his dad walked out, working 3 jobs, waitress, retail clerk, weekend office cleaner, to keep food on the table. Linda was fierce, funny, and whip-smart. She read 3 books a week, fixed leaky faucets, and knew every plant in her garden by name. When Noah was 15, ovarian cancer stole her from him. Her last words: "Make something beautiful, Noah. The world needs more beautiful things." Those words became his North Star. Noah poured his grief into woodworking, building a small but thriving business. His pieces were more than furniture. They were art, each one a tribute to his mom's resilience. Then, 2 years ago, he met Danielle at a Burlington farmer's market. She was blonde, green-eyed, polished in a way that screamed old money. But what drew Noah in was her curiosity. She asked about his craft, the wood, the process, not just the price. They talked for 20 minutes that first day, and she kept coming back. Soon, they were dating. Danielle seemed to get him. When he shared his mom's story, she cried, held his hand, and said she wished she'd met her. Noah thought he'd found the one. But as their relationship deepened, cracks started to show. Danielle came from wealth. Her father, Gregory Walsh, owned car dealerships across New England, and her mother, Patricia, ran a consulting firm for nonprofits. They lived in a mansion with a circular driveway and a 3-car garage. At first, they were charming. Self-made men are so admirable, Patricia said over dinner at their country club. Her smile tight, her eyes appraising. Noah brushed it off. He was in love, after all. But then came the wedding planning. The wedding was a production. A restored barn in Stowe, Vermont. 200 guests. A budget bigger than Noah's yearly income. Gregory insisted on paying, saying, "It's what fathers do." But every decision felt like it belonged to Danielle and her parents. The flowers, the venue, the menu, it was their vision, not Noah's. And then there were the comments about his mom. Danielle started dropping them casually, like she'd known Linda. "Your mom would have loved these centerpieces," she'd say with a sad smile. Or, "She had such simple tastes." Noah's stomach twisted every time. Linda had never met Danielle. Her life wasn't simple. It was a battle. But Noah stayed quiet, nodding, swallowing his unease. The rehearsal dinner at the country club was the breaking point. Picture it. White tablecloths, flickering candles, the clink of wine glasses. Noah's seated with Danielle, her parents, and his small crew, his best man, Tyler, his uncle James, and cousin Rebecca. The night feels warm, festive. But when Noah steps away to the restroom, he takes a detour through the bar for some air. That's when he hears it. Danielle and her parents, tucked near the windows, their voices low but sharp. The flowers she picked were so cheap-looking, Patricia sneers. Carnations and baby's breath, like something from a gas station. Gregory chuckles. What do you expect? She was a waitress. Probably never saw real flowers in her life. Noah freezes. His chest tightens, like someone squeezing his lungs. Danielle's laugh cuts deeper than anything. Noah gets so sentimental about her, she says. He acts like she was some kind of saint. Patricia's voice drips with condescension. She was a nice enough woman. But let's be honest, not exactly sophisticated. Working class through and through. Gregory piles on. Your mother wasn't even that special. Noah. Just another single mother trying to get by. And then Patricia's final blow. At least after tomorrow. We won't have to pretend to care about her sob story anymore. Noah's hands shake. His heartbeat thunders in his ears. He feels like he's 16 again. Watching his mom waste away, her hands rough from work, her eyes still bright with love. He walks back to the table, sits down, and plays the part. He smiles when Danielle squeezes his hand. He laughs at Tyler's jokes. But inside, something's broken, not his heart, but something deeper. His trust. His hope. He knows what he has to do. That night, Noah doesn't sleep. He sits in his workshop, surrounded by half-finished projects. The smell of sawdust grounding him. He thinks of his mom's hands. Red and rough after 12-hour shifts. Still braiding his cousin's hair. Still packing his lunches. He thinks of her laugh, her strength, her dignity. By 5 a.m., he's rewriting his wedding speech. Not the one he'd practiced, full of love and promises. A new one. An honest one. One that will honor his mother and expose the truth. The wedding day dawns perfect, clear skies. The Vermont mountains glowing in the distance. Noah goes through the motions. He smiles for photos, shakes hands, straightens Tyler's tie. Danielle glides down the aisle in her white dress, radiant, oblivious. The ceremony is flawless. Vows are exchanged, rings slipped on, the crowd cheers. But Noah's mind is elsewhere, locked on the speech he's about to give. The reception is a dream. Cocktail hour in the gardens, dinner in a grand hall, centerpieces that scream money. Gregory gives a toast, all smiles and charm. Welcoming Noah to the family. Saying his mom would have wanted prosperity and status for him. The crowd claps, oblivious to the lie. Then it's Noah's turn. He stands, heart pounding, palms sweaty, and looks out at 200 faces, Danielle's sorority sisters, Gregory's business buddies, his own small crew. He begins. Thank you all for being here, Noah says, his voice clear. Tonight, I want to talk about family. Real family. The kind that shows up, sacrifices, loves without conditions. I learned that from my mother, Linda Whitlow. The room leans in, expecting a sweet tribute. Danielle smiles, clueless. My mom worked 3 jobs to raise me alone, Noah continues. Waitress at Murphy's Diner. Retail clerk. Weekend cleaner. She shopped at thrift stores, clipped coupons, made every penny count. But she never let me feel poor. She never let me feel less. Noah's eyes lock on Danielle, then her parents. Last night, I overheard my new family talking about my mom. They called her cheap, ordinary, unsophisticated. They laughed at her flowers, her simple tastes. They said she wasn't special, just a single mother who raised a son and died. They were relieved they wouldn't have to pretend to care. About her sob story after tonight. The room goes dead silent. Danielle's face drains of color. Patricia grips her wine glass like it's a lifeline. Gregory's jaw tightens. Here's what my mom accomplished. Noah says, his voice unwavering. She raised a son who knows real love from fake. She taught me character matters more than money. Dignity isn't bought, it's earned. He pulls off his wedding ring. The one Danielle placed on his finger hours ago, and sets it on the table. The tiny clink echoes like a gunshot. And she raised a son who won't stay. Married to someone who disrespects her memory. He looks at Danielle one last time. I can't marry someone who mocks the only woman who loved me unconditionally. Then he walks out. The room explodes behind Noah, gasps, shouts, chairs scraping. Danielle's voice cracks, calling his name, but he doesn't turn back. Tyler catches up in the parking lot, grinning. Hell yes, he says, jumping into Noah's truck. They drive to Murphy's Diner, where Linda worked for 6 years. Noah orders apple pie, his mom's favorite, and coffee. His phone buzzes with calls and texts. Danielle, her parents, guests. He turns it off. For the first time all day, he feels free. He feels like the man his mother raised. Danielle and her family are left humiliated. The story spreads like wildfire. Someone recorded Noah's speech and posted it online. It goes viral. Millions of views. Thousands of comments from people sharing their own stories of standing up to disrespect. Gregory's business takes a hit as partners distance themselves. Patricia's firm loses major clients. Danielle moves to Boston, but the story follows her, a shadow she can't shake. Noah's revenge wasn't just about walking away. It was about choosing his truth over a lie, honoring his mother's memory over a family that never deserved him. Sometimes, the most beautiful thing you can make is a clean break. Noah learned that betrayals can be gifts. They show you who people really are before it's too late. If Noah's story gave you chills, smash that like button and drop a comment. What's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen or pulled off? Subscribe for more stories of justice and karma that hit right in the feels. And if you want to support kids like Noah, check out the Linda Whitlow Memorial Scholarship in the description. Let's keep the good fight going. See you in the next one.